Launched its manifesto for the Westminster election with a promise to protect spending on hospitals, schools and policing, even though the UK Parliament has no control over any of these matters. This means it's a promise which can only be delivered after next year's Scottish Parliament elections. Well, Douglas Fraser's been to the old Ravenscraig Steelworks in Lanarkshire, where Labour launched their programme for a fourth term in government.
A wasteland and a Labour heartland where Scotland's steel industry succumbed to the last recession.
New Labour asked the country.
While Gordon Brown went to the Birmingham battleground, the Scottish Labour leadership went to Ravenscraig in Lanarkshire, where a new college campus is taking root. Labour's manifesto talks about a transition from the old economy to new skills for new jobs. On health and education, its promises only apply to England because, of course, these are controlled by the Scottish Parliament for Scotland. That's why Scottish Labour is setting out its plans for next year's Holyrood election, promising to safeguard spending on policing in hospitals and schools. It's all explained in this manifesto, or if you've got less time, they're publishing it on one of these.
How does a new industrial revolution sound?
Ambitious.
Very ambitious.
It's a YouTube manifesto. Across Britain, Labour's dominant economic theme starts with getting serious about cutting the deficit. Income tax would be put on hold, though other taxes could rise. To move people from welfare to work, there are incentives and penalties, and Labour pledges political reform, including more powers for Holyrood. Looking ahead, the Scottish element of the manifesto includes emphasis on literacy in schools. Cancer waiting times would come down, and Labour wants to tackle antisocial behaviour and knife crime.
We've got a costed manifesto which is supporting families, supporting mums and dads to do the most important job they'll ever had, which is bringing up a child, and it's about supporting those families and building an industrial policy for the future. 100,000 new high-skilled jobs. But it's important we do that while getting the deficit down, halving the deficit over 4 years.
Today's promise, protecting schools, hospitals and policing, means more pressure to cut elsewhere. And it throws the gauntlet down. What will other parties promise to protect next year? The Westminster campaign's now underway, so is the Holyrood one, and that's got 13 months to run. Douglas Fraser, reporting Scotland, Ravenscraig.
Well, elsewhere, election campaigning has been dominated by the rising cost of petrol and the impact it's having, especially on island and rural communities.